Hello there, everybody, and welcome to Misscliks D&D Devotion.
Hello.
We are back this week after last week's minor technical difficulties.
Minor
technical difficulties of no electricity for a few hours. So what's been going on this week, guys?
I had my 3-year anniversary on Twitch.
Aww.
Wow.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
What did you do for it?
I did a 12-hour subathon, and I did Just Dance, reminisced some old broadcasts of mine, really old ones, and then just kind of hung out, and then played Cook, Serve, and Delicious, which is my new. I really like this game, but it's so it's so stressful to play. It's fun, but it's super stressful. And yeah, that's fun. And then, Just Dance has been part of my normal routine now. So I've been playing that and a lot of Zelda.
Nice.
Yeah.
Jen and I, speaking of anniversaries, just shared our 43-month sub anniversary with Misscliks. So
Easy peasy.
There's not a whole lot of people that can match us now on that continuous sub.
Forever.
I can't match you, but I'm catching up.
Speaking of Olivia or Jen, how's life going for you?
It's good. I booked my flight to Brazil at the end of November, so I'm pretty excited about that. I'm gonna be for a week in Brazil.
For vacation?
For no other reason than fun. Yay.
Brazil, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. And I got my visa approved, so that's less stressful. I was like, what if I pay for a trip and then I don't get my visa?
That could be problematic.
And besides that, because you were talking about cooked things. Oh, I have 2 things about cooking. I played Overcooked, and it's really freaking fun. We were 4 on the couch, and I laughed a lot. I laughed, cried.
It's a really fun game.
It's so hilarious to get mad at people and then realize what you're screaming at them. Like, come on, chop the salad and get over here. What is wrong with you? Stop! Go wash the dishes right now.
I haven't played that yet, but it sounds awesome.
At some point, I panicked and I was like, we need to restart, people. I don't know where to stand in the kitchen anymore. I've been wasting time for a minute now. And they're like, no, Jen, it's fine. Let's continue. So then I start just throwing lettuce on the ground, going I don't know what to do.
What system is that?
Huh?
What system is that?
We played on PlayStation.
Oh, that's cool.
But it's available
too.
everywhere, yeah.
Huh. I might have to. So you can. It's a multiplayer game.
Yeah, it's a
so
co-op game.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing is it's local multiplayer, so you have to play with people.
Okay.
But that's the fun part.
Yeah.
It's really fun. Actually, it would be fun online too. Wow, I don't know why they don't do that. I would totally play Overcooked online.
That'd be cool.
It was so fun. And I also cooked something yesterday, and it was pretty good. And my cat is sleeping just there. She's so...
Like a real thing in your real home?
Yeah, it's very rare. I thought of a new recipe, so I made pasta, and then I used boursin cheese as a sauce base, and then I actually ordered all the ingredients in the salad, and then I put that in my pasta.
Huh. How was it?
It was super good. It was like a, vegetable pasta thing with creamy white sauce. It was really good, actually. So now I have a new recipe, and it's super easy because I just ordered the salad and then they chop everything.
Cool. Very cool. What about what about you, Jeff?
So, it's been really exciting today. It's the release of Danganronpa 3, so I've just been playing that all day. Really cool game. I love that series. I've got a Hearthstone team tournament tomorrow. We stayed up really late preparing for that, so I hope that we put up some good results. And finally, I think it's literally been a month since I last played Devotion, so really excited to be back here.
Yeah. I'm excited to have you back as well. And last but not least, Miss Robinson? Miss Prosser Robinson I don't remember the way your name goes, but Anna.
I liked Probinson. That's pretty
Robinson. There we go.
I'm just like working my little tail off for TwitchCon, and you guys may have seen that we announced the content for the Glitch and Twitch Presents stages in the Twitch blog. And that's where I am almost exclusively at TwitchCon as far as where I'm on stage, and it's also both the stages that I'm mainly producing. So I was excited to see that. There's 3 different Dungeons and Dragons games at TwitchCon that you can watch live, which I'm really excited about. And yeah, Twitch Weekly is coming up on Friday, and there's no DJ Wheat, so it's anarchy. So I'm trying to think of something fun to do to break the rules while he's gone. Yeah.
You should make a video compilation of all the things he did that look silly.
But then I'd have to do so much work. The whole point of anarchy is to do things that are fun and not too much work.
Well, you could tweet at people to compile for you the best of DJ Wheat and then just laugh at it.
That's pretty good. Maybe I'll
ideally when he sings.
Yeah.
Because you have to get back at him for that elf song.
Oh, and as far as like things I did this past week, I filmed I was in my infomercial that I booked.
Oh yeah, you look so good.
I went to LA and I was on like a mega like very Hollywood set and filmed an infomercial. It was really fun.
I love it.
But
Tell us about these Hollywood sets. How do they look?
It was just really interesting because I really love working on professional sets that like really know how to get things done. But it was also much more like serious mode than I'm used to because I work in mostly geek and gaming environments and mostly studios that are like kind of jocular, you know, and pretty chill. And this one was very like, we had a huge long day of shooting, a really long script, and we needed to be like boom, 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 getting it done. So there was a lot of like intensity. And they would be like, Anna, we need more energy from you. Like, please, you know, up it. And usually I feed off the energy of everyone I'm working with because people are joking around. But I had to like manufacture a lot of that energy. And so it was really a fun challenge. Not that they weren't nice. They were super, super nice, but it was just a different environment than what I normally work in. So it was fun and a good experience and feels good. I'm just still really tired because it was a really long shoot and I haven't been able to catch up on sleep yet. Because I went out for karaoke afterwards.
Too much fun, I suppose.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, does anyone remember what happened last session?
Oops, I accidentally got married and I'm still not telling anybody.
Yes. Yes. That is a little bit awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that was 2 sessions ago. What happened last session?
Well, the still not telling anyone part is what happened last.
That's true. That's true. But I believe Anna met a ghostly sorcerer and learned some things from him.
Yeah, and we got a halberd and a whip.
Yeah, the sorcerer was named Schmelvish Schmesley.
Something like that.
Elvis Presto?
Oh yeah, Elvis Presto. And now it seems like somehow my magic seems to be tied to my singing.
Yes. Right.
Yes.
Which is pretty exciting for Kellen.
Yeah, so you can channel your spells now. If you continue to cast them and just like keep singing, once the spell is casted, that you can extend the duration for as long as you sing. Of course, that doesn't work on like instant spells, but anything that has any sort of duration. The drawback to that is then you can't speak at all. And no sort of verbal interaction with other people. Otherwise, it breaks the chanting. And
is it like all my spells now are singing, or just I'm learning new ones that are singing?
I think they all only need a verbal component. Let me double check my notes on this here. Song Mage. All spells can be cast with only verbal components. If you want to cast them the old-fashioned way with whatever other components, you can do that too. Or if you just want to sing your songs, that's fine. But each song has to have like a little bar or two about it. You got to then write down, and then every time you cast a spell, you got to sing that 1 bar or 2. Or if you want to update it and be like, oh, this is like the slightly better version, now it sounds like this, that's fine as well. But there's there's a ditty that goes along with the song.
Got it.
Cool. Yeah, and there was, in that fight with Elvis Presto, I think some things ended up getting glossed over, like the Phantom Miners and all that jazz, but you did pick up a couple of interesting items there, didn't you, Olivia?
Yes.
Yes, what
The
did
magic halberd.
Yes, and?
And a whip. Halberd.
And a whip.
Halberd.
Yes.
They were magical. It was wonderful. I think it may be our first actual magical items.
That you haven't given back?
Yeah.
Just
fair enough.
that Neil loves me.
Fair enough.
All right, so you have spent the night resting in this tomb. It's definitely a tomb. There's like a weird throne. There's a bunch of, it's clearly some sort of burial place for this person, especially with those items way up there. But you rest the night, and the next morning you use your casting of Lasting Breath to get yourselves back through the water and back out into the desert once more. So let's bring you back to a desert panel. Ooh. That's a cavern. Canyon, not a desert. Okay. So, you are
With
back in the
dramatic
desert.
music.
Mm-hmm. You have with you all of your NPCs. You've got Guy, you've got Rhonda, you've got Lashina. I think those are the only NPCs with you right now.
And
Our goats. What about our goats?
Yes, what are your goats' names?
Hank? Maybe? No?
Maurice.
Maurice.
And Nielsen.
Right.
Right. And you've
Neil?
got... Yes?
The real Neil, not the Nielsen.
Yes.
Am I on Kellen 2 spells now?
Yes, you are.
Okay.
Yeah, your spell list has shuffled around. I think you'll probably be happier with this one, though.
Probably. Okay, cool.
Eh.
Did you take away my hideous laughter?
Some spells were removed, some spells were added. I don't remember which was which, though.
You took away my hideous laughter!
Did I?
You think it's too OP, Neil? You think just because I can beat an entire army of orcs with it, it's too OP?
I think the issue was that... No, I don't know why. I don't know why it's not there. I redid them for what I thought would be more appropriate, and
Alright. Fair enough.
Oh.
I sing for my spells now. That's fine.
Actually, I have to ask, can you send me my spells as well, or my spell sheet? Because I can't even click on anymore the conversation. It won't let me go up without having a paid plan.
Here you go.
Fuck. Thanks.
You're welcome. Okay. You're back in the desert. Lashina, who everyone just thinks is slightly traveling with you for some weird reason, starts tugging on Kellen's arm, on Kellen's sleeve, and kind of pointing north by northeast, and says in perfect Takuban, "Sweetheart, let's keep going. I think this has been enough monsters for the time being. You certainly do live a life of adventure. Is this what it's always going to be like?"
Of course, darling. Of course. Is it not to your liking?
Oh, I think I could get used to it given enough time. It's just
It's
not
just
the life
going
of
to
a
be
goat herder.
such a long time. You know, we will be doing this for such a long time. I worry for your delicate disposition, and worry that perhaps you're not fully, you know, happy with me.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh,
perhaps I've struck a chord, have I? You are unhappy with me. I knew it.
I don't want you to think I'm unworthy of you, that I would get in the way. I don't want to be a burden on my dear
yeah.
love.
Well, not wanting to be a burden, I mean, you would never, the thought would never cross my mind, of course, that you would be a burden, but I would never want you to feel that way. So if you were feeling like a burden, what would you rather be doing?
Well, I don't feel like a burden unless I feel like you feel like I'm a burden.
But do you feel like I feel like you feel like I feel that you're a burden?
Occasionally, all this talk of monsters makes me feel quite burdensome, but I'm very good with animals. I can hold the horse's reins. And since we have the goats with us, and I am a wonderful goat herder, I can take care of them too. Maybe that can be my function here, is I can care for the animals while you're off doing your adventuring.
You are quite good at it, my dear.
Oh, why thank you. Olivia, you see Lashina like grab Kellen by the arm really close like and kind of just settle into her, or into his shoulder.
She's quite an affectionate person, isn't she?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes, I think so. I feel like a little too affectionate. I wonder why she doesn't maybe, I don't know,
leave us alone.
Maybe be more affectionate to somebody who's single.
Maybe it's the language barrier.
It might be. I mean, my brother does speak the language and we don't. I'm learning some words though, and I point out different words that I've learned again. Tree.
Yeah.
Bush.
Well,
Sand.
Maybe that's why she feels close to him and she's being clingy and stuff, you know. I remember a time when you guys were saying I was too close to this Alex guy and like there was nothing going on.
Well, to be fair, I think that Alex guy did have a thing for you. I mean, he sent you flowers. You don't send a woman flowers and that nice chainmail.
Well, actually, I do get a lot of flowers and looks and, you know.
Do you? Where are all these flowers that you've been getting?
We're in the desert. Where do you expect people to send me flowers?
I'm just saying. I don't remember you ever getting flowers. Not even.
What about that Alex Gilbert guy?
That's what I mean. He was the one to send you flowers, and we all know he had a crush on you. He's trying to steal you from my brother.
Well. Next time I get flowers in the city, I'll show you my flower collection.
You should. I'd love to see it.
Okay.
I make a mental note that women might like flowers. As I approach Cass from behind, like put like my arm right over her shoulders. I say, "I'm sorry, I've been out of it for a while. I hear that you saved me last time down there. So thank you very much."
You're welcome. And I slightly blush at this.
And for some reason, I don't feel thirsty right now.
Well,
yeah, actually, your skin is glowing. You seem so well hydrated right now. That's good.
Yes. Well, sorry about that. I kind of had to make you drink some extra water so that you wouldn't kill us.
Oh no! Did I try to kill you?
Well, not exactly, but I think you were about to try, so we just didn't want to run into that. It was better that you got out unscathed.
I would never forgive myself if I tried to hurt you. Look into Kess's eyes.
Oh, you didn't, so don't worry. And then I give him a tight hug.
Hug.
Hey, Rhonda?
Yes?
I think that you and Lashina would just like totes get along. I think you guys should hang out. Do you know Cuban? Because you're like kind of noble and stuff. Like you probably maybe like studied it. Like I did.
Kind of noble. Excuse me.
You're excused.
She gives a bit of a chuckle at this and actually like comes over and like gives you a pat on the shoulder and a cocked head cocked to the side and kind of shakes her head. I think I'm sort of starting to get the hang of you and your lifestyle.
Shucks, that's great. Anyway, Lashina seems real lonely and like I don't think it's great for me to be like her only companion. So I was just thinking like you guys seem like you might have a lot in common, you know?
She ponders this for a moment.
I think it might be good for her to hang out with another female. You're perfect for that. I say so to make sure she doesn't want to hang out with me.
She nods for a little bit and says, I have learned the ways to entertain and to host. I will do my part. And then she attempts
really
to
lovely of you, Rhonda.
Pry
thanks, Randy. You're a pal.
off of Kellen's arm. And then with some like awkward verbal sounds mixed with, you know, hand gestures, they like link arms and kind of head out north with Lashina pointing out directions and sort of leading your party Anna, you can tell that she's saying, well, we need to go this way because that's the direction towards where we're going. And you can hear Rhonda being kind of like, all right, whatever. Look, yes, that's it. That's a hawk? No. Mountain? What are we pointing at here?
Guys, where are we going? Cass, where are we supposed to be going right now? Because, I mean, we can just, like, follow Lashina. That's cool. I'll just,
I don't know exactly. I might not be the best person to ask. I'm feeling very hazy lately. And before you say it's drugs, it's not drugs.
Well,
just okay, I had another dream last night.
Another dream?
Yes, they're coming quite frequently now.
Was it the kind of dream that, kind of happens?
No.
I don't think that's the kind of dream.
mean?
Babe, I don't think that's the kind of dream she's talking about, but I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Oh no! Well, tell us about the dream.
Yeah, babe, tell us about your dream. I'm just kidding.
Me?
Just whisper it in my ear.
Oh, I'll whisper it. I start whispering stuff in her ear.
I wait for finish.
Guys, this is like a PG show. What are you doing?
I'm just telling her about this flower I saw. It's really nice. Yeah, anyway, so we kind of calm down and I'm like, no, but seriously, Cass, your last stream actually like had some legit meaning. I mean, it told us what to do in that situation in that town. So what does this one say?
I know. That's the crazy part about it. It did give us the meaning, and luckily I prepared the right stuff for it, but I don't know, this dream feels very hazy. It was you and me, Kellen, and there were 8 children walking with us, and they were given flowers, and then we came upon this place where there were elven gods shooting at targets, and on the targets were... I kind of look over at Ransom, and then I look at the rest of them. Well, it was all of you.
Well, I have done my professional analysis on this dream, and I believe we should avoid any elves for the next few days then.
Wait, but we're elves.
Yeah, do you want to avoid us?
Oh, no.
Kind of rude, man.
You two are the exception, of course.
Well, we should just avoid elf guards.
So there's more to the dream.
Do tell.
Well, they thanked Kellen for turning everyone in. And then I remember us leaving after everybody was gone, and it was so horrible. All of our friends, everybody was dead. And we went back, and I remember the kids were so rowdy. And then we told them a story. It was about this man who washed ashore to an unknown land, and there was monsters around, so he fled inland, and then he hid, but I don't know exactly. I'm a little hazy about it.
Must be the drugs.
I nod. I'm like, yeah, totally. Look, Cass. First of all, there's no way I have 8 kids, or
You sang to them a lullaby when they asked what happened to the man, and then they fell asleep, and then you turned to me, and I remember this distinctly, and you said, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get Ransom killed. I just thought we could do it. I thought we could fool them all. I thought the gods were just."
I don't think I've turned anyone in because I haven't seen anyone but you guys in a really long time. And also, you guys are my ride or die, so like, why would I turn you in or like get one of you killed? That's like messed up.
Well, let's just not fool any gods or guards.
I tense up a bit on hearing that I die, and I mention, wait, so where are we going right now?
Aren't we following the coast, trying to...
Yes, you've been following the coast, but you've kind of deviated inland a little bit because that's where all the fresh water has been, where these oases have been, and then you deviated inward to go find that village, which then led you to the underground cave, which led you to everything that just happened. So now you're inland from the ocean. That's not within sight, but Lashina's got you going in a direction that she keeps saying is the way that you guys were headed. I think you're all just kind of lost in the desert right now.
So, remind me, we're heading back to our original starting place, yes? My hometown, so to say? My home area? Is that where we're going?
Who are you asking? Neil?
General asking the party, and then if you guys don't know, I'll ask Neil.
I don't know.
So generally speaking, you guys just wanted to get the hell out of Akuba, and so you said we'll take the overland route out. The only area that you can really exit through that would be the border with the Elven Kingdom. So you guys were just like headed out of Akuba by land because you were sick of going by sea. And so the exit through that is through the Elven lands. Actually, why don't we take a look at the world map? And I'll show you what I mean. You guys are over here in the desert right now. Akuban territory ends over here with this river. There's one town right here controlled by the Akubans, and one town over here controlled by the elves on this border river. The inland section of the Elven territory is kind of mixed. The forested section is like Elven lands, and the unforested section is what it's called the free land. This would be a city-state, and a little bit further south would be an independent city-state, and further north is an independent city-state that belong to no one. But technically they're within Elven lands, but like the section of Elven lands that the elves don't really give a shit about. So, generally speaking, you guys are headed, you're somewhere in here, and you're headed this way. Although where you are heading, like your final destination, I don't think you've decided yet.
Well, you'll have to forgive me in case you wanted to see civilization anytime soon. But I put a lot of stock in Kessa's dreams, and it would not be very... I wouldn't be very happy if I died meeting this elf city right here that's coming up. I kind of point out on, not a map, but I just say the thing that we all know about. So I would suggest that we instead bypass it and we go ahead and follow the river, start going back to our home base.
As much as I'd love to see our own kind again, I think he might be right. I'm scared about what might happen. I couldn't live with myself if anything happened to anybody in this group.
Yeah, I just don't know if like Lashina might want to go to that Akuban city. Like maybe stay there or something.
What's she to you anyways? Why is she following us around?
Oh, you know, like people, you know, he kind of like fades off and just wanders off. Anyway, let's go.
Yeah. Akubans, I'm fine with. Elves, let's ignore that next elf city.
Okay. Well, are there going to be any elves in the Kuban city? That's a worry too.
Look, we're elves. You can't just generalize an entire group of people, okay?
How about this? Elves in that particular upcoming elvish city.
That's fine. If that's what you think the dream's about, then we won't go to that city.
Yeah, I heard they're the worst.
I just am getting really cranky because I haven't played a show in a really long time, and music is my outlet. So I have all this energy pent up in me, and it's just not very good, okay?
That's true. I think it'd be really good for us to play a show, Kellen.
You guys head out through the desert. You're having to walk your horses most of the time because they're just going to overheat out in the oppressive heat here. The day draws towards a close as you get closer and closer towards the mountain range. And that evening, you end up... at an oasis. a lovely little oasis, bright
Ooh.
pools, waterfalls. There's a small camp of other people here. It looks like a group of 4 people who all have pack animals that are like heavily laden, and they're dressed with long flowing robes to kind of keep the sun's heat off of them. And then there's this one lone guy who's sitting near the oasis with his feet in the water, looking kind of down as your party pulls in. There's plenty of room. You guys can camp separately from these other groups, or you can meet them, or whatever you want to do. But Lashina brings you here and kind of looks at the other people and still gives you the, like, hold on one sec, as she walks around looking for snakes. But after having seen some people in the water drink, she shrugs.
At last, the noise is where we can actually have fun. I say as I start taking off my top and I head for the water. I'm like, yeah,
You
water.
hear,
Come on, Kellen. I grab Kellen by the arm.
There come the calls of the spectators as you tear off your clothes and hop in the water. They hoot and holler at the youthful display of energy and joy.
Kellen follows suit.
They holler twice as loud when Kellen strips down and jumps in the water.
Woo! And I
Yeah,
have my huge dragon tattoo all the way across my chest.
Oh yeah, that's
looking
true.
really cool. Yeah.
What do you think, Cass? All this journeying through the desert, we could cool off, right?
Yeah, I think so. And then I strip down as well, and I run.
Let's go.
Hey, come join.
You guys find a guy following suit, as well as Lashina, while Rhonda looks aghast at you. Stripping in public, and then...
Come on, Rhonda!
Oh, Rhonda, if you could watch our stuff, that would be great.
Someone needs to keep a responsible head on their shoulders. Any one of these people could be bandits, she says as you jump and splash around in the water.
Very true. Wise of you to keep your head, I say as I jump right into the water. I offer my hand over to Cass to jump along too.
Rhonda always keeps her head. Rhonda doesn't want to end up dead. Rhonda is a stick in the mud. I don't know what rhymes with mud. And then he just dives in the water.
Okay.
I bring over Ransom and then I push him in.
Oh. That's all right. I managed to... I try to land gracefully for the dive.
Give me a dexterity check to see if you can land gracefully.
Sure.
No.
Oh.
It's like a side splash.
Ransom's not graceful.
And then I do a swan dive in the water.
She's graceful.
Oh.
It's all right. As soon as she surfaces, I splash a bunch of water on her.
Now she's not graceful.
Okay.
So, serious discussion. Ransom, do you happen to have a mastery in whip or halberd?
Yes, of course. We've traveled together for quite some time. Don't you know I use this glaive? Basically a halberd.
She's probably too busy macking on my brother all the time to notice what you use for a weapon.
Well, I know the weapon he uses.
Oh my.
Hey, girl.
Alright, so you guys can use the halberd and we'll take care of the whip.
That is the wrong track.
Maybe I should get a whip mastery.
About? A whip for what?
The whip! From when he was a weird ghost.
Now, Cass, I don't think we should be prying into what those two will be doing with whips.
Oh, you're right. Probably not.
It's a very cruel weapon, after all. Used to laugh and used to inflict maximum pain.
My cheeks turn red.
You guys hang out here for a little while as the sun goes down. The group of 4 stay fairly close to one another. They've got a little fire going. It looks like they're burning animal droppings for their fire. And they've got like a small stove over it, a little pot over it that they're cooking something in. The person by himself has pulled a reed out of the water and seems to be trying to make a flute out of it. but you're also noticing that he seems wounded. There's a, now that he's like fully out of the water, you notice that there's a slash across his leg.
Was it the sad guy?
Yeah, it's the sad guy who's making like flutes and seems wounded.
Oh, then I approach him.
Cass, I say to her while we're in the water, didn't you mention you found someone lost in a dream?
Yes.
This the guy?
Do I recognize the guy from the dream?
No.
Well, it may be him. Hey, person.
He looks up from his flute making, sees you, and kind of gives a half-hearted wave.
You speak common.
I do. He says in a Mistrayan accent.
Are you okay? You seemed a little bit down there, and now you seem a little bit hurt.
I just lost some close friends recently. Yesterday.
Oh. Damn, that's harsh.
Yesterday? What happened?
At this point, are you guys still in the water, or have you gotten out? Just for reference here. I need to know if, like, a bunch of skinny dipping women are approaching this person, or if it's, like, clothed people. His reaction may vary slightly.
I think we'd have waded in closer while in the water.
Right. Okay, so everyone's still kind of swimming around together.
Yeah.
So he's kind of looking down and up and around, and he's kind of embarrassed by the whole situation. He's like, my buddies and I were sent off to kill the Hydra in the mountains south of Thaden Laud, but well, the Hydra just ripped us to shreds. Killed all of my friends.
Out alive.
I only made it out alive. I had to drop all of my stuff. I had to drop my instruments, my weapons, my magic sheet music. I had to drop everything. It was a mess.
Are you a bard?
Yeah, I'm a bard by trade, but I've lost my instrument now. I'm trying to make a new flute, but these reeds are terrible.
That's a shame that you lost all of that. Where could it possibly have been dropped?
Right back by the Hydra.
And wherever would that be?
You want that stuff?
I don't think
What?
we're
I
gonna
didn't
go
say
towards
that.
the Hydra.
No, look, we thought we could take the Hydra. If you think you can take it, go for it. Maybe you can give my buddy some company in the afterlife. See the mountains? Just head south from the mountains. There's a little cave, lives along that mountain range, south of Thaden Lodge.
And why did you head up there? Like, what prompted you to go?
I'm a bard. It's what I do. I sing songs about the glorious deeds me and my friends do. So we thought, hey, kill a Hydra. Pretty glorious, right?
It definitely is. It's really impressive you wanted to go up against that big monstrous creature.
Yeah,
Well,
especially
very-
if you're all bards.
No, we're not all bards. Only I can do what I do. That'd be
Well,
ridiculous.
hi, me and my brother are bards too. I'm
Heads
Cass,
up.
and this is Kellen.
Yo.
You seem hurt. Do you need some healing?
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to some, but I'm not a beggar.
I approach him slowly in the water. And I start like orisoning his legs, so I'm just like rubbing his legs. That's horrible.
Kellen's like, isn't she great at that? It's awesome.
His awkwardness sort of is fleeting as you come up, like swim up to him and then like rub up and down on his leg. And he says, well, what's your name?
It's Olivia. Nice to meet you. And then I hold up the other hand to shake his head.
He takes your hand and then gently kisses it on the knuckles.
Aw, isn't that sweet? I say, looking back at Cass.
I go up to I'm like, yeah, Olivia's so good at that. And like I put my arm around her and like I pull her in. I'm like, isn't she just the best? And I just give her like a huge kiss on her cheek, and then I'm just like making it very obvious that she's my girlfriend.
Lashina comes swimming over, sort of giggles and tugs at your foot to pull you away from Olivia, and then like tackles you to wrestle with you in the water.
Nice. So we were saying.
My name is Bobby. Bobby Van Winkle. It's nice to meet you.
Bobby Van Winkle.
Yes.
Is it a human or an elf?
It's a human.
Human bard.
Yes.
Is he good looking?
Why don't you roll me either 3d6 or 3d4 plus 6, whichever. I mean, you kind of have a thing for humans, it seems, so maybe a 3d4 plus 6 is appropriate.
Roll a 3d6.
3d4 plus 6. Yeah, you know, he's not bad.
I see him as a 12. You see him as a 13.
Is that good or bad?
8 to 13 is average, so 13 is like the upper side of average.
She's a
So
pretty
I'm like,
good.
oh, he's good looking, but not like, he's not ransom level to me.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I look him over once for a sec, and then I turn back to Ransom and smile.
So tell me there, Olivia, and God, what a lovely name that is. Do you have any songs about you yet? Or do you need someone to make a song for you?
Of course my brother would write songs about his girlfriend. I chime in.
Well, I'm not asking
okay.
about his girlfriend, he says, pointing to Lashina in the water,
No,
who's still
his
playing with it.
girlfriend is the one that's rubbing your leg.
It's really messed up.
You know, I've got a lot to learn about elven culture, apparently. I didn't realize that long lives came with multiple wives.
No, there's not multiple wives.
Well,
Only
actually,
with
they kind
her.
of do tend to end up with multiple wives over the years. You know, like as we saw with your brothers and when your father and mother.
Well,
hey. we're
anyway,
not
if no one's
like
written a
that.
song
You
about
might
you
not-
yet, then maybe I can write one for you. Why don't we take a walk around the oasis and you can tell me some of your favorite things?
You know what? That will be a nice change of pace. We've been walking in this desert for so long. I think a little walk would do me good.
Yes, a great walk. And I pull Ransom with me, and then I walk up. Let's all walk together.
I get dressed again, by
Okay.
the way, for this.
Should we
Yeah,
get
we
dressed
are.
or should we? Oh, okay.
Kellen, what are you doing about this? Lashina's clearly saw you being very flirtatious with Olivia and like pulled you away from her and, you know, smothered you with affection. Is this starting to become a problem?
Kellen is starting to realize that this bothers Lashina. And although he was annoyed that she pulled him away from this guy who seems to be backing on Olivia, this has given him an idea. So he's kind of like, And he's looking around. There's like lots of people here, right?
Right, there's this one random guy and there's these 4 other guys back on the other
So
side.
there's not like, it's not like a bustling watering hole.
It's not bustling. There is that other group of 4.
Yeah. We'll see. Anyway, he's like, my darling, not right now. I must stretch my legs. And he goes and
Why are
follows
you
the rest.
always so friendly with that other human girl?
I told you before, it's our culture. I have so much affection for so many, many people.
But I never see you being affectionate with the other human girl, she says, pointing to Rhonda.
That one is smelly.
She nods. I did notice a hint of something under that armor of hers. When was the last time she washed? She could really do with a bath.
Yes, maybe you should try to convince her. I think you guys have a lot in common despite her smell.
Well, at least she smells better than your sister.
That's actually really funny.
Wow.
So yeah, Kellen tries
did you
to
know
follow them.
about the... She looks a little bit like embarrassed. Did you know about your sister's... I don't know what the word that Rhonda was trying to use was, but sounded like gases.
Gases?
I think that's what she was saying. Rhonda tells me that Kess makes the worst smells at night when Rhonda's on watch.
Kellen's like really enjoying this. He's like, yeah, that's pretty funny. But he's trying this whole time to kind of like extricate himself and go join the others on this walk.
Right. I think everyone by this point has joined together for a walk, and it's this guy, Bobby Van Winkle, arm in arm with Olivia, trying to shut the rest of you out of the conversation while he's asking her about her favorite things around the oasis, and then composing,
Are you feeling better now? I guess I would give him 2 orisons or something.
Yeah, much better. Your touch does wonders for the body and the soul.
I heard it does. I heard it does.
Yeah, I usually say that. Yeah.
So, off to kill a Hydra. That's a pretty big venture. How did you hear about that Hydra?
In town.
Are they having a big Hydra problem? Is it terrorizing the town?
No. We just heard rumors of it up in Yatel. And we thought, well, the city could use some great heroes to go slay a Hydra. And so we went off, and then my friends all were eaten. Maybe I'm not in the mood for a walk today after all.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
So, about Hydras, I asked the guy, do you think they're intelligent? I also asked myself that if I know anything of that.
Good question. Asking everybody. He pauses for a moment and goes, I don't think I saw any sign of intelligence, but it's not really the intelligence that you have to worry about there. It's more of the 8 gnashing heads and sharp teeth and the enormous body.
Ah, yes, that would certainly be
8 heads?
8 heads.
Yes, dear, that's the thing about Hydras.
There was 8 children in my dream. I wonder if that's connected somehow.
Ah, so all we have to do is give the Hydra flowers. I see.
Or 8 children to occupy it with.
I don't think my Hydra had anything to do with your dream, Missy. But yeah. You don't have to... It's not the intelligence, right? It doesn't have hands. It can't throw things at you or build ballista. It just eats viciously.
No, that's good news. It means that your stuff will be perfectly safe wherever your friends died.
Well, you should all have it. Did you... He says, kind of looking around for Kess. Did you say that you're a bard?
Yes, I'm a bard.
And I'm a live painting experimentalist.
Well, if you do kill the Hydra, you're welcome to all of our stuff. The command phrase for the sheet music is, this is our last dance.
Ah, what generosity. And what does this sheet music do?
It's the greatest. You just open it up when other people are playing music around, and it automatically records their notes perfectly for you.
Man, that would have been so useful last week when we were at that ghost town.
Then you just say the command, and you erase it. It's great. I've learned a lot of songs this way, if you know what I mean. Picked up a lot of really good ditties from other folks this way.
Wait a minute, so you don't come up with your own stuff, you just steal others' music?
No, I come up with my own stuff.
No, he said he would write me a song about my name, Olivia.
Yeah, but...
That's an original.
When you hear a good song, you like to play it, right? Haven't you ever heard a song that someone else made and you wanted to sing it yourself or play it yourself?
That song by Elvis
all of our songs are original.
So
You've never tried listening to other people's music or playing other people's music?
No.
You've never heard a song and been like, I like that song, I really want to jam out on it right now?
Well, we've heard good music, but me and Kellen, we do all of our own original music.
I mean,
that's what a true artist does.
Unoriginal.
Well, except for a family of elves, you know.
Well, that was with our parents. That's different. We all made it together.
Are you sure that wasn't a hit single of your parents before you were born?
It was.
So these adventurers you went with, do you think they had any valuables or magic weapons on them? Magic items?
That's what it feels like, having people go through your friend's stuff. No, the music was mine and mine alone. It was the only magical thing that we carried. But they did have weapons and armor and gold and silver and copper and gems.
Ah, no wonder why you failed. You brought gems to a fight which required magical weapons.
I'm gonna go now, guys. It's been a blast. Thank you, Olivia. It's been a pleasure.
It was really nice to meet you.
You're welcome on behalf of all of us.
He goes to give Olivia a slightly too close and too long hug.
Ah, how am I gonna remember you? I wish I had something natural and, what's the word? Something that will fade after like 1 day or something. Something you can find on the ground. Natural.
He takes a step away, pulls out that reed flute he was working on and hands it to you. For you.
Aw, that's so sweet. I was talking about a flower, but that'll do.
He looks around. I'm afraid the only flower in this desert is you as well. Good night, my dear.
Good night.
He heads back to his little campsite, which is just kind of like a fire pit and nothing else because he's literally dropped all of his goods and he has no shelter.
Oh, and I just took his flute.
Yeah. Well, he just started making it. We'll make another one.
I look back to see what Kellens are doing.
As the guy was walking away and saying all that, Kellen's like, as soon as he sees you looking at him, he's like,
I giggle at him. And then I make the same face back.
and I nod and laugh.
All right.
I take this opportunity while all of this is kind of happening to like, as feeling this kind of camaraderie with my sister, I kind of like pull her aside. And I was like, can we just like talk for a sec?
Yeah, what is it?
I'm like kind of dealing with something and I like don't know what to do. And I just feel like, I don't know, super weird about it and like tried to talk to you about it, but it's just like, we're never like alone, And
no, tell me what's going on.
I don't know, it's really embarrassing. I don't know if I can.
Kellen, you can tell me anything, but brother and sister, we should be able to talk about anything.
Yeah,
no judgment
you
asked.
You can't tell anyone. Do we have a secret handshake? I think we have some sort of secret, like...
Yeah, I know we made one, but I don't remember what it is.
It's like a, like pinky, nose, boop, wiggle your ear. Yeah. So, like, I just, like, I feel kind of uncomfortable with, like, how Lashina perceives our relationship. And, like, I know that no one can tell because, like, I'm the only one that speaks a Cuban, but she just like thinks things are really serious and I like don't really know how to tell her that they're not, and it's just like really getting in the way of my relationship with Olivia, and I like don't want to hurt her feelings because she, is like all alone and she keeps saying how like she can't go back to her place and all this stuff, and I don't want to hurt her feelings or like make her go back there if she doesn't want to. But I don't know. It's just like too weird, Yeah.
Well, how serious does she think your relationship is?
I mean, like really serious, like really, like pretty, like the seriousest.
Was there some ritual that you were unaware of?
How would you know that, Kess?
There's a lot of weird things. They took us underground and put us in water and undressed us and put us in these clothes, and then there was dancing and drinking. I mean, who knows what kind of stuff they do there?
I mean, I don't know what normal person would know that was a ritual, just like offhand. Like, I don't know how someone could see all that stuff and just be like, oh, gee, this looks like some sort of bonding ritual. And, like, I don't get how I would be expected to know that, like I
wouldn't know that. I don't understand why they think that and why they would even try to put you with someone anyways.
Not that they did that, not that like,
Oh, they didn't.
I mean, I don't know. Lucina thinks something happened that I don't really get. I don't know. But either way, so like the best thing I can come up with so far is like I was trying to figure out what would make her want to just break up with me so that I don't have to do it, you know? So like maybe if I was like trying to like be really affectionate to Olivia, so she'd be like, oh geez, this guy's like scummy, and then she'd want to just leave me. But she just doesn't seem to be taking the hint. So like maybe I need to like make it more explicit. Like maybe I need to just like really make out with Olivia in front of her. Like maybe that would do. I don't know. What do you think?
I think that would hurt her if she thinks something of you guys. I think you just need to be honest to her.
I tried. She won't listen to me.
And we can't take her back?
She said that if she goes back, she'll just be shamed by the village.
Well, if she's shamed by the village there, then we'll have to drop her off somewhere else.
I know, but then she has no one but us.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't have this fake relationship with her and then still have a future with Olivia. You would have to give up Olivia for this girl, and I don't think you want to do that.
Maybe I could pretend to die.
I see that ending very badly.
But then, you know, she'd be a widow, and like that seems way cooler than.
And then she would still stay with us because she would go home and still be shamed, I'm sure, because apparently she couldn't keep her husband alive either.
I mean, I mean, by widow, I didn't necessarily mean husband, you know, like
Kellen.
Married or anything. It's like that'd be
I just give Kellen a look.
I don't know how you know so many things all the time.
Helen, you have to understand, I'm observant. I make sure, and I should know my brother more than anything.
Well, I didn't mean to.
I know you didn't, and I put my hands on his shoulders. It's not your fault. It could have happened to either of us.
Kellen starts kind of crying a little bit, like his eyes well up. He's like,
I give him the biggest hug. It's okay. We'll figure this out together, okay?
Can you just fix it, please?
God.
It's hard because I don't know her language. You're going to have to teach me a little bit of a Cuban.
Maybe I could just like cast comprehend languages on you. And then you could talk to her, maybe.
I would do that.
Okay, here. I cast comprehend languages on her.
Is that I'm looking at the wrong spell list. Kellen. Comprehend languages. Okay, so nor does it enable the caster to speak or write an unknown language.
You knows how to say tree and bush and friend.
Right, so this will allow the caster to understand words that are being spoken, but not necessarily to speak the same language.
What?
Yeah, it's comprehend. It's
I can't cast it on her?
One speaking creature or written object. When this spell is cast, the wizard is able to understand the spoken words of a creature or read the otherwise incomprehensible messages.
So it's
you
only
can
on
comprehend
myself.
something.
And in either case, the creature must touch. The wizard must touch the creature or the writing. So yeah, so like you cast it and then you touch something and then you can understand that
Never
thing.
mind, I don't cast that. I thought that I could give her comprehend languages.
Fortunately not.
So never mind, I don't do that.
Well, good thing I have room in my noggin to learn a language, and I'm quite quick at picking it up. So we're going to have to practice this over the next day so I can talk to this girl for you.
You think you can learn a Cuban in like 2 days?
Do you know how smart your sister is?
Look, I mean, you're like smart and stuff, but a Cuban took me like all of, 4 years to pick up in school. And like,
Helen.
I'm obviously pretty smart too.
Of course, Helen, but we all know you get distracted a little easier than I do.
What?
And I've already picked up a lot of basic words. Like, I've learned a lot of basic words already. You just need to teach me how to conversate more.
All right, what do you need to know?
Okay. And then I, ask for
So is this general, like, I just need to practice my Akuban, or is this, I need to know this phrase so I can tell Lashina this thing? Like, what are you looking for
general here? And a few phrases as well.
Like anything specific that you want to know right now?
Basically explaining his relationship with Olivia and, like, how there was a misunderstanding and...
I just keep suggesting to her that she say things like he's cheating on you and like you don't want him and all that stuff. Because I've tried to tell her, Cass, I've tried to tell her that I was in a relationship with Olivia, but she's like, no, we're married, me. And I was like, that's not how weddings work. And she was like, it is so.
Well, maybe coming from me, it might be a little bit easier. Like if I explain it woman to woman.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know, it's worth a try, but otherwise, we're going to have to do, we might need to take her back. I mean,
I'm not doing it.
I mean, it's either that or she's stuck with us forever. I mean, you can't have this relationship. You'll lose Olivia.
Maybe she can just be happy being our friend.
I don't know if she'll accept that, but I'll see. We'll see when I talk to her what she says.
You know, she just said that she didn't want to be ashamed, but she doesn't know me. She doesn't know who I am. So, like, if she doesn't want to be ashamed and she wants to stay with us, cool. She's a free woman. She can do what she wants. She can be our friend, but she doesn't have to be married to me, you know? But whenever I say that, then she's like, oh, you don't want me? And then she looks at me with these eyes that look all sad, and then I feel like a big old mean monster.
Well, what do you say when she says that? Do you say, no, I don't want you?
No, I say, of course I want you, because I don't want to hurt your feelings.
Well, then you're leading her on. So she thinks that she has a chance with you. She needs to know that there's no chance with you.
I think you're crazy if you think I can say that to a woman's face.
I know. That's why I'm going to help you.
Okay.
We got this.
Don't tell anyone. Don't tell
Olivia. I won't tell Olivia.
It wasn't my fault.
I know it wasn't. And I'm sorry you had to deal with this. You should have come to me sooner. You must have been so stressed out.
You're so nice, Kiss.
Of course. You're my brother. You mean the world to me.
Yeah.
We'll get through this. And hopefully, I don't know, maybe we can set her up with Guy. I don't understand, though, this marrying somebody you don't even know. Like, she doesn't know anything about you. I mean, of course, you're wonderful, and she's very lucky to have someone like you. But, like, she didn't even know you, and she just goes off with some random man? I mean...
I know, what kind of backwards weirdness is that?
Right.
Like, I'm all for, like, respecting other cultures, but that's messed up, man.
Yeah, that town. Crazy town. But they give a good bath.
I wouldn't know. I was too busy being drunk and apparently getting married.
Oh, you got the wrong end of the deal.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. From now on, we don't get drunk in strange towns or participate in rituals we have no idea about.
Yeah, totally. I'm doing the equivalent of the, like, I'm never drinking again thing, where it's like, yeah, 100% never doing that again. But everyone knows that you're totally going to do that again.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think that brings an evening to it all. Oh, yes?
Do I have a general knowledge of how close it is to the nearest town?
No, you guys are lost in the desert. Lashina is literally the only thing guiding you through this place.
I'll go up to that guy while those two are having their conversation, the guy who told us about the stuff.
Right.
And ask, hey, I noticed you didn't have any stuff. Are you going to be able to get to town fine?
I'm just going to follow the mountains and hope I got to town.
Do you know about how long that'll take since you've probably come from there?
Well, it was 2 days to get here from Yatel. A day and a half, really. But I'm not encumbered anymore, so I should be able to make it in a day.
Sure. Well, you look like you've had a rough road. Here, have my bedroll. And here's a few rations for you. A few days' rations.
Hey, man, thanks. Like, that's...
And when you get back to town, here's a little bit to get started on your feet. I give him 5 gold.
He gets up, stifles a sniff and a tear, and gives you a big hug.
Do I witness this?
I think this is when you're like deep in conversation with Kellen.
Okay.
Yeah. The long, manly hug with many pats on the back, hard pats on the back.
I hope your journey goes well from here.
Yeah, it'll be fine. I just gotta hire some people to get my friends' corpses back so I can give them a proper burial. I gotta get some money first for that. So, if you're ever in Yatel in 6 months to 6 years looking for work, come find me.
All right.
Bobby Van Winkle's the name.
Sure. We'll probably never see each other again.
Probably not.
Van Winkle.
And I think this is where we go to our first break. And we'll come back from the break and find out if the players are headed to the human town or if Trump can persuade them to head off in search of a Hydra. See you guys on the other side of our break.